Hi, Ashley. Can you hear me? Testing, testing.
Yes, I can hear
Ashley, can
you.
you hear me?
Sorry.
Okay. I was like, oh no, not again. Awesome. Oh, I have chicken stuck in my teeth. That's not good. There. Look, everyone can see my sticky notes in the background. Ashley, can you only see the slideshow or can you see like the sidebar with all the slides? Like, can you see like, or is it just like the presenter screen? You know what I mean?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I can see the sidebar on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's fine. I don't really care. I feel like if I go big, then they can see this. How do I get rid of that? Oh, is it up here?
Maybe.
Like, you know, like, how do you make it so that they can't see show navigator? Is that it? No. No, that's not what I want. I guess it's fine. They can see the next slide. Oh, oh,
There you go.
there we go. Wow. Technology. It's really something, isn't it? Whoa, wait. I can see on this screen the next slide. That's pretty cool, actually.
Nice.
All right, anyway. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? Oh no. Oh, okay, hold on. Nope. It's still in the way. Nope. There you go. Nope. Okay, that's fine. All right.
I'm gonna let him in.
Yeah, that sounds good. Bye, everybody. We're gonna wait a minute to let everyone get on and then we'll start. All right. I think almost all of the numbers are here. So we'll start. I'm going to try and take up the least amount of your time as possible. I know it's a Monday night and you guys could be doing so many other things. So I'm going to go through the slides, get you the information you need to know, and then you guys will be free to go. To do that, I'm going to ask that you don't ask questions during kind of when I'm going through everything. If you have a question, you can ask it in the chat, and we can kind of monitor it that way. At the end, if you have a question you need to ask right now, you can ask that, but you also all should have my email, and I'm going to be on my email after this and tomorrow morning. So you can also feel free to email me that way, just so we don't keep everyone on here super late tonight. We're going to start off just kind of going over what we're going to talk about, kind of general Lounge Soccer info, an overarching overview of what Lounge Soccer is, the key contacts, who to contact for what. I know sometimes it's hard to know who's in charge of what. And so I get a lot of emails and I forward them everywhere. So we'll go over who the most direct contact is for things so that you can get the most prompt response from people. Different policies, communication throughout the season, and then how the season is formatted and just some different rules of them to know. We already went over that. So for Lounge Soccer, this is kind of what our program looks like. It's an overarching just kind of diagram of what you can do within the club. Our recreational program runs from micros, which is 3-year and 4-year-olds, all through high school. So you can go through our recreational program from 3 years old to when you graduate. You can also at any time be in the recreational program and try out for a travel team. And they also run from all through high school. So really any age you are, we have something for you, no matter what you're looking for, whether it's a recreational program or something a little more competitive. Once you get a little older, into our 9v9 leagues, just U12, U13, we have an elite program league called ECNL that you can make if you're good enough. But we really try and have something for everyone, no matter what your needs or desires are. Next slide. It is not working. There we go. If you're looking for something outside of our typical program, so of course we have our fall and our spring leagues, but we also have supplemental programs. So our Rec TA is for kindergarten and older. You can register for that. We have summer camps, we have winter clinics. So a lot of people, instead of taking the winter off, they want to stay engaged. They still want their kids doing something. We offer winter clinics and supplemental programs in between seasons. And then we have free play days throughout the year as well. Can you guys see the slide, or is this just in my way, or is it in your way too? Because I can't.
Yes, we can see
all
it.
your faces are in the way. Okay. Awesome. A lot of people have already emailed me looking for more resources and material. Just so you guys know, we have on our website a tab. So you go to the Rec tab, you go to the Coaches Info Center tab, and there are so many resources and materials for you. Really, any question you have or whatever you're looking for, you'll find something there. Whether it's session plans, all those are there. Different videos on activities you can do, where you can watch somebody orchestrate a drill that you might want to do, whether it's rules and guidelines for the 4v4 games, what the policies are, what the rules of the game are. We have a lot of info there. So if you guys after this want to go and look through that and see what we have to offer and what info's there, that's probably really helpful. And then if you have any questions after that, you can feel free to email me. But there's just a lot for you there that people don't know about. So this slideshow is going to be posted on our website under the Rec and Coaches Info tab. So you can find that there also if you want to go back and look at the slides or go back and watch the recording of the video. It also has the link in the slides. So that's an easy way to access it. If you just go to the slideshow, you can click on the link. The equipment pickup day, this is going to be the next thing you want on your calendar and to have on your radar. This Saturday, we'll have our equipment pickup day and our on-field clinic. If you have not coached us before, this is kind of a cool opportunity for you to see what a session looks like. So at 10 a.m., we'll have your field session, which will be, I believe, a game. So you'll be able to see what a 4v4 game looks like, how we would coach it, how we would engage with the players, and how we would utilize kind of the quarters, do substitutions, stuff like that. So you won't go into the season kind of unprepared for what to expect or what to do. And then after that, at 11 o'clock, we'll have our equipment set up in the commuter lot, and you can walk across the street and get your equipment. For Rec 1, everyone should have ordered jerseys themselves. I know in kindergarten, sometimes that transition is confusing because we provide the jerseys in kindergarten and we don't in first grade. But everyone should have ordered the uniform already. And if not, you should do that ASAP. But we'll give you your equipment bag. So that'll have pennies, cones, a first aid kit, and a soccer ball in there. If you can't make it, so a couple things. If you can't make it on Saturday, we'll have an equipment pickup only day on Sunday. So the following day on the 27th. That'll be from 9 to 11 a.m. So you can come and get your equipment. It's an easy way to get that done if you miss the Saturday, but you won't be able to see the on-field session. That'll just be Saturday. If you can't make anything this weekend, you already had plans, or maybe you have a travel player in a tournament this weekend and it conflicts with the times, you can come by anytime during the week between probably, I would say 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and somebody will be here and you can grab that. So don't worry about missing it. You won't not get equipment because you can't make it this weekend. But if you want to see that on-field session, you should try and prioritize coming on Saturday. Team rosters, I'm sure you guys all noticed the rosters were posted. I know many of you were getting on very early on Friday because our network was crashing before you were able to finish posting all of them because so many people were on trying to find their rosters. Just know that some changes can occur within the next 2 days. With a program and organization so large, it's really impossible to get everything 100% right the first time. So if you see a name change in the next couple of days, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just know that going into practices, that whoever's on your roster is on your team. And I say that because anyone who's not on your official roster, so anyone you don't see on your account, should not be practicing with their team. We want to make sure that the only people participating with you are the ones that are registered and documented to be with you. So if you have someone trying to practice with your team that's not on your roster, just have them email me or you send me an email and we can figure out where the confusion is and get them to the right team in the right place. And then the other thing with rosters, because we're still kind of in the process of finalizing them, there are a few spots open here and there. There's some divisions where there are absolutely none, and there are some where there are a few. And so there are a few more registrations coming in. And I say that because we don't want to promise anything to anyone. If you have somebody that wants to get registered, you just don't promise that they can make a team, or more specifically, make your team, because if we can do it, we will. But there are times where we can't. And it's extra disappointing when they've been told that something can happen and we have to say that we don't have any way to make that work. So just, if you know someone who wants to get registered, just send them my way, have them email me, or you can email me with them on the chain and we can, try and get them in, try and get them what they want. Just don't guarantee anything because we don't want to disappoint people more than, we need to. So team officials, that would be you guys, that would be the coaches. Every single one of you is registered as a coach, and that means all of you have completed and passed a background check, whether you know you did or not. When you register, you automatically get put into a background check and you're cleared. So with that said, anyone who wants to volunteer or be active with your team or participate, they need to register as an assistant coach. We don't want anyone to be coaching or in an authoritative role on a team without being in our system. So it's great. You might show up to your first practice and you have a parent really eager to help, really eager to be involved, and that's awesome. We love that. Just have them register as an assistant coach. This also goes for, say something comes up halfway through the year, or I guess not year, halfway through the season, and you have to miss a Saturday. That's perfectly fine. It happens. You can get anyone on your team to fill in for you. Any parent can cover you. They just need to make sure that they go on and register as an assistant coach. It's very easy. I mean, all of you have done it. You've completed it. You know, it's not all that time consuming. And we just want to make sure that gets done so that we know who's working with who and, you know, who's working with the kids, so that we can make sure everyone is in a safe environment going forward. Our Dick's equipment, our Dick's Sporting Goods equipment weekend. Okay, that was a tongue twister. This weekend, August 25th to 28th, that is when you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get a discount. So this is good for you guys to know if you want to go get extra gear. If you need to buy something for your kid that they don't have yet, you can go this weekend and get a discount on stuff. If you haven't set out your welcome email yet, which is just an email saying, hi, welcome to the team, this is good to put in there. A lot of parents maybe haven't bought stuff for their kid yet, and they're still, you know, trying to run out before the season starts to get shin guards or cleats or a ball or whatever. It's good to know that they can get a discount this weekend. So just pass that along. It's, you know, it's always nice to save a little bit of money here and there. Uniforms, as you guys know, we switched to Adidas from Capelli. Ordering a new uniform was not required. So you may have kids on your team that show up in a Capelli uniform. That's fine. They do look different. Anyone who has emailed me and asked if they have to order a new one, I've said, no, you don't have to order a new one, but you might look, you know, different, out of place. But with that said, if you do not already have a uniform from last year and you need one, make sure you order it. There's a link on here to Soccer Post where you can order a uniform. It's red and white jerseys, black shorts, black socks, pretty simple. But just make sure you get that done. If you have someone on your team that's asking you what they do if they haven't ordered the uniform and it doesn't come in time, they can wear any red or white shirt. Don't not let them play because they don't have a uniform, as long as they come in the right color. That should be fine. Just a couple of safety rules. No slide tackling and no heading. This changes as you get older, but for this age, for Rec 1, first, second grade, no slide tackling and no heading. Slide tackling, it could look like a kid trying to get a ball and throwing themselves on the ground. I don't see too many first, second graders intentionally trying to slide tackle. If you see it, just, you know, let them know that that's not what we're going to do. But yeah, I think generally at this young of an age, it looks more like just tripping and falling on the ground. And we just don't want kids on the ground because then they get stepped on and then they get injured, and that's no fun. Yeah, and then just no heading. That will change as they get older, but for right now, hopefully I don't really think the ball gets high enough to head it yet, but just in case anyone asks or tries to do that, that's the policy. Weather and field alerts. So if you have coached with us before, you know that you can sign up for text alerts, but we also, any information about field closures or weather, so like if your session is going to get canceled because of weather or the fields are closed because of rain the day before, we will email that out. It'll be posted on the social media and a text alert will go out. So we're going to communicate that to you through every avenue that we can. So you shouldn't miss that memo. But what I do want to remind you is that the emails go through our software. So whatever email is linked to your coach's registration is the email that's going to get the email. Does that make sense? Some people say they don't get emails, and then it turns out it was in their wife's inbox the whole time because it was their wife's email that they registered with and they didn't think to check there. So maybe just go check what email you used to register so you know where to be looking for those updates. As far as field closures go, say it rains a bunch on Friday night and we're wondering whether we're going to have a session on Saturday. All those calls get made by Loudoun County Parks and Rec. So that's not us here at Loudoun Soccer waiting to make that call. If you feel like it's too late, just know that we're waiting for them to tell us whether the field's closed or not. Usually they're pretty good about letting us know a decent amount of time. But if you email me asking, my answer might be, I have no idea. And I'll let you know as soon as I know. I'm not going to wait to email you. Say Parks and Rec tells me, hey, so-and-so field is closed. I'm not going to say, okay, I'm going to wait 2 hours to get that info out. You'll know as soon as I know. And then for Thunder and Lightning, the only time you guys will have to worry about canceling anything is if your session's ongoing on the weekday. It's like a practice. So not even Saturday, really, because the referees will call that. But if you're out there on a Tuesday night and it starts lightning, that's when you would make the call. It's a 30-minute delay, but your practices are only an hour. So likely if you're more than 20 minutes in and lightning hits, it might be just better to call it because you'll come back with 10 minutes left in your session. But that's up to you. If you want to have to wait, you're more than welcome to. You're also more than welcome to say, hey, we're just going to call for tonight and head home. Just make sure all your players are accounted for. Parents shouldn't leave their kids on the field, but we also don't want to just assume and then have a little 7-year-old out there in a thunderstorm by themselves. So I'm sure you guys would already check, but just make sure. For team communication, you guys are going to be kind of our bridge of communication, our first point of contact. So for all that weather information, closures, delays, fields, cancellations, we're going to contact you. So like those emails and updates are going to come to you as the coach, and then you'll then forward that to your team. It's much easier for us to contact the 150 of you guys than the 2,000 kids in the program. So just know that if you don't forward that, your team might show up and not know where their coach or anybody else is. And then as a general rule of thumb, people like more communication than not. Up to you, but a reminder email throughout the week is usually helpful. Hey, we're at this place this week, our game's at this time. Make sure to show up 15 minutes early, etc. Just so you know who's coming and you're in communication with your families throughout the week. The Stack Team app, we've used this before. It is better now. There have been some updates. So if you really hated it in the past, you might hate it less now. Before, if you have used it, it was really tedious to upload all your info. You had to manually kind of get all of your roster over. Now we do that. So we'll be able to automatically sync all of your Stack Team apps with your Sports Connect account. So it probably won't be today or tomorrow, but sometime next week, we'll make that upload and you'll be able to see all your information in the app. If you email me with specific questions about troubleshooting the app, I might be able to answer like 20% of your questions. I know a lot of things. I don't know the app very well because I never had to use it. But luckily, we have this amazing link right here that tells you how to troubleshoot and gives you all the instructions you need. And again, this will be posted on the website. So when you go to set up the app, if you're planning to use it, you also don't have to use it because all the info will be in your account. Maybe just pull up the instructions while you're doing it and it'll tell you step by step. That's what I would do because I'm not very good at figuring things out. So just kind of a timeline of things so you guys are aware of what's going on. I'm sure you guys are already on top of it, but rosters were released on Friday. You guys don't need to know about the special topic, but if you are coaching a third grade or up team, the 24th of August, there's going to be a special topic meeting for you guys to attend. But you'll hear more about that in your other meeting. The equipment pickup and coaches clinic day, we already talked about, that's this weekend. Again, Saturday, you'll see the session and you'll get your equipment. Can't make it on Saturday, come get your equipment on Sunday. Can't make it Saturday or Sunday, come whenever you want before the season starts. We'll be able to get you your stuff. The first week of practice starts the 28th of August. Make sure you communicate with your team. I would, for sure, and you're welcome, email, remind them of the start date and whatever day you have practice on. So if you have practice on Tuesday, just make sure that they're aware that that's the week they're going to have their Tuesday practice starting. Game schedule released on the 30th of August. So if people are asking what time their games are going to be at, I don't know yet. We just posted rosters and now we are working on the game schedule now that everything is mostly finalized. So be patient about that because they don't have a lot of information to give you right this second. But on August 30th, you will get your game schedule. Yeah, I was going to say something, but there's another slide coming up, so I'm going to save that. The first Saturday of your season is September 9th. Everyone will have their first game that weekend and it'll be awesome. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting. October 8th is when you guys will have a game on Columbus Day weekend. That's important because in the past we have not had a game on Columbus Day weekend sometimes. So just make a note that we will have a game that weekend. And then the final game is on October 21st. That'll be our fall festival, which is always a really good time. All the games are here at LSB. There's food trucks. There's activities for the kids. There was a water slide. Well, that was for the spring. We might not have that. It might be a little cold in the fall, but there'll be a lot of fun things for kids to do. And it's a really good way to end the season all together. So that's something to look forward to. And just let your families know. Oh, and here we are, Fall Festival. I think I talked about all this, except that will be when you get your medals. So if you email me at the end of the season asking when you get your medals, make a mental note right now. It'll be at the Fall Festival. So you'll come check in your team, they'll pick up your medals, and then you'll be able to give it to them at the game. Practices. So pay attention because there's a lot of confusion sometimes with practices and field allocation. If you show up to your practice and there's a team on your field, that is because there's 2 teams per field. I get a lot of emails after the first week of the season saying that there was a team on my field or I had to practice on a random piece of land because someone was on my field or I only had one goal. Every field is 2 teams per field. So you'll have half a field and the goal that's on your half. You might find yourself with a full field if you happen to pick the day, time, and location that there just weren't a lot of practice requests, but I would not expect it. And just know if there's someone on your field, that's because you're sharing it with another team. Now, if you show up with 2 teams on your field, then someone's on the wrong field and you should email me. But yeah, just know going into it, you'll have half a field and you'll share it with another team. You guys will lead those sessions. The session plans are already online under the coaches resource tab, like we talked about at the beginning. If you want to use it, fantastic. It's a really great resource and it details exactly everything you need to know. How to set up the activity, what the objectives are, the coaching points, how long to do it for, from start to finish. If you love coaching, but doing it for a long time, and you know what you're doing and you want to do your own thing, that's also perfectly fine. But for those that don't feel as comfortable and want some help, those are really great resources that are found on our website. And then just for a general rule of thumb, don't go to the last minute. Don't run over. Try and end 5 minutes early so that you can get your group off. Just like you guys at the 5 o'clock session might show up a little early to set up. Let the team after you have a little bit of time to set up their field so they can start going right at 6 o'clock. Saturday schedules, again, they're going to be posted August 30th. You'll be able to see it on your team page, just like you can see your rosters and your practice schedule. Please don't look at that one time at the beginning of the season and then never look at it again. It is possible for your time to change. It is possible for your location to change. We try not to do it very much. We try to make as little changes as possible, but sometimes, especially right after it gets posted, there's something they got missed, or there's a coach that coaches two teams and we accidentally conflicted one of their games. So we have to make a couple changes. So just know you should be checking that periodically to make sure that you actually know when your game is and where it is, and you don't show up to the wrong field, the wrong place at the wrong time. Along those lines, if you are coaching two teams, and we will deconflict your schedule, but if by chance a couple of your games accidentally got conflicted, that's unintentional, and just email us and we'll fix it for you. Again, with so many coaches and so many different things going on with the schedule, sometimes things get overlooked. And so just shoot us an email and we're happy to fix it for you. But just know it was not on purpose. Yeah, change may occur. Awesome. All right, talked about that. Yeah, so also along those lines, you can email if you need your game rescheduled for any reason. Maybe you're going out of town, something came up and you can't do it in the morning. You always have the option to ask if it can be rescheduled, and we will do everything we can to reschedule it. 2 out of 10 times, there's no way for us to fix it on that Saturday. And we might say, hey, we can't fix it this weekend. Referee coverage, XYZ. Can you play it during your practice or whatever time you have your practice that week? So we will work with you. We'll get your game rescheduled. We'll get it at a time where you can make or work with both coaches to do that. So don't be afraid to ask. We don't want you guys to be stressed out about not being able to make a game. But yeah, so that's good. And so if you don't have an assistant coach too, you can have a parent fill in. So kind of the procedure I would do is, if you have an assistant coach, ask them to fill in. You don't have an assistant coach, email your team, let them know you can't make it, see if anyone can fill in. If no one responds and everyone's really unwilling to step up, then we can work to reschedule your game. Yeah, we'll make it work one way or another, basically, is what I'm saying. Some pregame info, just to know: home wears red and away wears white. I would say for you guys, arrive 20 minutes early before your game and tell your players to arrive 15. You generally want to arrive before your team does. Every once in a while, if something comes up, that's okay. But especially the first 2 weeks, your team may have no idea what's going on and your parents may be really confused. So being able to see you at the field and know they're in the right place is usually helpful. Warm-ups you might have a team on the field before your game, so you might not be able to warm up on the field. But if you are lucky and you are able to use their field to warm up, try not to use the area right in front of the goal, because it gets worn down very easily and then the fields become not so nice to play on. So just be aware of the grass and where you're warming up, and try and help us maintain it a little bit. And then just be nice, greet the people. We are not, really competitive. We're a recreational program, so don't glare at the opposing coach when you get there. Say you're going down. Try and show your team that what good sportsmanship is like. So say hello to the referee, say hi to the opposing coach, and make sure it's all good to go. It's also good to greet your opposing coach, because it is possible maybe they're short players that day, and that is a really good time to get on the same page about how that's going to go, because we'll talk about it later in another slide, but coaches should be working together to make sure the game is a positive experience for everyone. And that includes maybe sharing players, mixing people up if needed. We know that with the recreational program, sometimes people don't make it. Sometimes there's a bunch of people out of town and a team is short numbers, and we just want to make sure that we're all working together to make sure that it's still a good experience, no matter what ends up happening numbers wise. This is very simple. It just shows you where the team sit and where the parents sit, and essentially just make sure that the team and the parents are on opposite sides of the field and the teams are on opposite sides of the field. Some might think this is common knowledge, but it might not be. So we have a little diagram for you to look at. We just don't want the parents and the coaches on the same side all together. Let your parents sit separate so you have your time with your team, so you can coach and lead them the way that you would like to. An overview of what the format is for Rec 1 and Rec 1 first, second grade. It's 4v4 games, 4 10-minute quarters, and then the 10-minute quarters are split in half with a 5-minute water break. So you have 10 minutes, 2-minute break, 10 minutes, 5-minute break half, then 2 more quarters. We intentionally put 8 on a team for a lot of reasons. One reason is it makes it very easy to do 4v4. You have 2 groups of 4. One group plays quarters 1 and 3. The other groups play quarters 2 and 4. It just makes your life very easy. Playing time, very easy, very straightforward. And yeah, so if you have any questions about games specifically, policy, rules, all that stuff, there's a few more things we touched on in the presentation, but again, there's material on the website for you to look at that even goes more in depth if you want to look at that. Talked about this a little bit, 50-50 playing time, really easy when you have 8 players. If you have 7 players, then a couple people get to play a little more. Don't play that one extra player, more than everybody else, but just try and evenly disperse your playing time amongst your players. No one needs to play 3 quarters unless everyone else is playing 4. And then, substitutions are made during the breaks and at halftime. So during the 10 minutes that you're playing, you don't need to be making substitutions. And there's a link for more info on that. That'll take you to the coach's info page. We talked about this a little bit, but if there's a coach that are short numbers, a couple of things you can do. You can lend them some players, or you can play down some players. So say they're missing, 1 or 2 players, that's still pretty manageable. You might not need to lend them a player, but it might be helpful for substitution wise if you play 3v3 instead of 4v4. That way their players get a few more breaks than having to play all 4 quarters with just the 4 they have. If you need to manage it more, say they only have 3 players and you're killing them, keep mixing up, keep letting players. I would suggest, even if the other team has all their players, if you're killing them 6-0, 6+0, at some point, maybe at halftime, just mix up your teams entirely. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the score is. We want the kids on both teams to have a good experience, and kids are not having a good experience if they're losing by a lot every game. So just be cognizant of that. I know everyone wants to win. It doesn't matter how old you are, what level you're playing at. People play to win. People play to be competitive. It's in our innate nature. But let's make sure that the little first graders who are getting beat 6-0 aren't going home feeling really terrible about themselves. So just manage that as the adult on the field and do what you need to do to make sure that we're managing kind of that on the field. Encourage people. I would encourage you to mix up, maybe not during one initial game, but maybe from one game to the next. Don't always put the same groups of 4 people together. I think, does that make sense? So with your groupings of people playing on the field, mix up who's playing with who, and make sure they're playing different positions. So with 4v4, you're likely to be playing a diamond with 1 in the back, 2 out wide, and 1 up top. The same person shouldn't be playing in the back the whole time. Like, have them mix up where they're playing. They don't want to pigeonhole players at this young of an age into a certain position and make them feel like that's the only position they can play. You want to kind of diversify people's experience and give them different looks on the field. Restarts, very easy. If it goes out of bounds, it's always a kick in. There's no throw-ins at this age. It just really depends on, at that point, where it goes out of bounds. If it goes out of bounds on the sideline, it's just a kick wherever it went out of bounds. If it goes out on the goal line, depends on who kicked it out. If the defending team kicks it out, then it's a corner kick. If the attacking team kicks it out, then it's a goal kick. Goal kicks are played right in front of the goal. So the players will put the ball in front of the goal. The other team should back up to half field. That way players can have a second to get the ball kind of moving forward. And then they can start That's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, that's all there. I think over that. There's no arc for corner kicks, so just know it gets taken from the corner of the field. And then offsides, there's no offsides. In 44, there's also no goalies and there's no cherry pickers. Meaning if you have a defender who's standing way in your goal, you need to tell them to get out of the goal. If you have somebody standing on the far side of the field, on the other side, cherry picking, tell them to come get in the game. Yes, to be fair, but also because we don't want anybody so engaged so unengaged in the game that they're not really touching the ball. And if the ball is on one side of the field and your players playing goalie on the other side of the field, they're so removed from the game that they're not really touching the ball or being engaged at all, which is not what we want. We want kids to touch the ball. We want kids engaged in what's going on. We want kids to be a part of the play in all aspects of the field. So just make sure that kids are playing positionally, but also in the right place on the field to be in the game. We did talk about that, so I'm just going to keep going forward. Referees, something to know. This comes up every year because it can be very frustrating. You should have a referee for all your games. In ideal world, in ideal circumstances, however, is not an ideal world, and sometimes we are in not ideal circumstances. You may find yourself without a referee. That is okay. Still play your game. It is a very small field, so you should be okay reffing the game. I would encourage the coaches to ref the game together. You can do one coach refs the first half and the second coach refs second half, or you can do one coach refs their half and the other coach refs their half. However you want to do it, however you feel most comfortable is fine. You can have a parent volunteer to referee, but at the end of the day, just make sure that the kids still play the game. And something that you should know is we are not trying to sabotage you with no referee. We actually have nothing to do with the referees. It is a completely separate organization. Referees are independent contractors that find their own games, find their own game times. They can take as many games as they want. If I'm a referee, I can log on to the referee website where all the games are called Game Officials, and I can pick one 9 o'clock game and have that be the only game I play. I could pick a 9 o'clock game and a 3 p.m. game at a different field and have that be what I do. Because of that, and because there are so few referees, sometimes there are gaps in the schedule, and that leaves a game here or there without a referee. So just know that sometimes we don't have control, or I would say we don't ever have control over what games get referees. With that said, we are in communication with the director of the referee organization. And if you have not had a referee for multiple games in a row, you can email us and we can email them, and they can talk to their employees to try and convince one of them to make sure that that game gets picked up. So I guess just two things to take away from that. If your game does not have a referee, continue to play it. And we apologize that no referee picked that up. And then if you don't have a referee for multiple games, don't hesitate to let me know. And I will do my best to get someone to cover that game next time. Again, just some resources for you on the Coaches Info Center. So many materials. I'm not even kidding you. Like, there is so much for you there. Like, please look at it. Like, it is so helpful, especially if you're new, especially if you are unconfident in what you're doing. It is really awesome. And it probably won't answer any question you have. However, if you do still have a question, you can email me. My email is here. It's pretty simple. It's mac.brody@loudsoccer.com. And that is true for today, is true for next week, is true at the end of the season. If you need anything, if you have a question about anything, need help, need support, I am here. You can email me. I will answer you as promptly as I can. If you've already emailed me, like recently in the last couple of days, I think I've answered all the emails that came in up till 5 p.m. today. So I think I got back to everybody before that. If you have not heard from me though, just know that I'm working through my inbox. So many emails came in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that it took a while. And I think I just finished getting through those like right before the Zoom call. So just know that we are, and everyone in here is working to answer emails, and we're not trying to ignore you. But throughout the season, less emails will be coming in. You should hear from me pretty soon after you reach out. And I will never be upset with you sending me an email asking a question or needing something from me. If I can help you, if I can support you, if I can do something, then I will. If I can't, then I can't. But it doesn't hurt to ask. If you need somebody other than me, you can email Darren. He's our technical staff. He's kind of oversees all the rec programs, so not just you guys, but all through high school, from 2 to high school. So he's the main guy. If you email him a basic question, he'll probably just forward it to me. So you're probably more likely to get a response from me. But if it's something that he needs to answer, it's a big complaint, or someone got seriously injured and you want to email him, then you can do that. His email's right there. I will say something that you guys might want to take a note of, for fields, for practice schedules, anything involving practices or your field location. Jamie is the one you're going to reach out to. Her email is jamie.rawson@loudsoccer.com. And if you email me with any kind of question about that, it's just going to get forwarded to her. So the most direct line to get the quickest response and the most accurate information is going to be just to email her. Although I am happy to forward your emails along. That's kind of just a more direct route. And then lastly, just good luck. It's a short season. It feels long, I think, at the beginning, but then I think you get to week 7 and it feels like it went by really fast. Enjoy it. I know some of you were really eager to coach and signed up right away. And some of you signed up because I called you 6 times begging you to coach. So we didn't have to turn away kids. No matter what category you fall into there, just know I'm really grateful that you're volunteering your time. So the kids can play. We would not be able to do anything without you guys volunteering. And I just know that sometimes you guys have busy lives. Sometimes you have a lot going on and you still volunteer and you still give your time. And so just know I appreciate it. And if you need anything, let me know. I'm happy to try and make your life as easy as possible. And then, yeah, good luck. It's a fun one. It is interesting. First thing, grid soccer is very interesting, but it is pretty awesome. If you have any questions, again, I don't want to keep you guys too long. So if you have a question that you just need to answer from me for, you can email me and I'll get back to you. I'm going to answer some emails here after I get off, and try and catch up with some of that stuff. So that's a good avenue. I'll look in this chat real quick. But if you have a question you need to ask right now on the call, you can go ahead. I will answer some. The floor is yours. If not, we will get going.
Are you Jamie?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you Jamie?
I am not Jamie. I am Mac. Jamie Rawson is someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not on the call, but you can email her if you want.
I just emailed sometime before to change the schedule of my team. Like my practice is on Thursday. I request him to make it on Tuesday.
Yeah, so if you emailed her, she is going to get back to you. She just like all of us has a ton of emails. I know she worked very long hours today getting through all of them. So she hasn't answered you yet. Just know that she is going to get to your email. Yeah. If you haven't emailed her, then go ahead and email her. But
yeah, Mac, this is Jay Sony. I had a similar question. I was I have scheduled a Thursday 6 to 7 practice time, but I think I requested Tuesday 5:30 to 6:30.
Yeah.
Who do I reach out to potentially get that changed?
I'll put, so you know how to spell it. I'm just going to put it in the chat. It's Jamie Oops, that's not right. All right, I just sent it in the chat so you can copy and paste it, but that's our email. All of our emails, just so you guys know, if you haven't seen a trend, all of our Lounge Soccer emails are a first name dot last name at loungesoccer.com. So if you have an older player in the program and you need to email someone about, say, a fourth grade team, you can email Karen at karen.corp@loungesoccer.com. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes, my name is Roz. I have a quick question. Where do I
Hi.
pick up jerseys from? We had ordered them back in July. And I know they're saying there's some vendor that's used. Is that vendor going to send it to us directly, or do we need to pick it up from that vendor?
Yeah, they send it to you directly to your house or wherever your shipping address was.
Okay, is that, I guess we haven't received them. It's been well over a month.
I mean, you can reach out to them. I know sometimes it takes a while. I don't unfortunately have a lot of information on where it is or what the tracking number is. You can feel free to email Soccer Post. If you have a tracking number, you can track it. But if it doesn't come before the season starts, you can still participate. Just wear the color jersey that you wear. So if your team's wearing a red jersey, have them wear a red shirt. That's good information to know in general. I'm sure someone on one of your teams is going to have that problem. Let them know that they can still participate as long as they wear a shirt of the same color.
Is this the Soccer Post that's located, I guess, in Chantilly?
I think there might be a location there. I don't know if that's who has your jerseys though. I would go to where you ordered the uniform, find the contact information.
I ordered it through the portal through Lounge Soccer.
Yeah, so their contact information should be on the website, and you can contact them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Picking up on that question, you had said that red jerseys were like one was away and one was home, but I didn't, I might have missed something, but I didn't know when would we be considered away or when would be considered home.
That's a good question. When your game schedule comes out, it'll tell you. If you can't see it, yeah. But general rule of thumb too, if you're the first team listed, so it says team A versus team B, team A is home and team B is away. So whatever team is first is home, whatever team listed second is away.
Okay.
But it should have a little tiny house icon next to your name.
No, I think I can clear it. In app, it's not showing. In app, you can see only the at or versus. So if there is an at, the other team is the home team. And if it's a versus VS, then we are the home team.
Yeah.
Just look for the home icon.
Okay.
The home icon makes it clear.
Yeah, you'll see a little house.
In app, it's not showing home icon.
Yeah, that's right. The app does not show the house icon, but as Max said, the first one. So Julia, like you brought up that question. So it would be Julia versus Ramsey. So Julia, you will be the home team in red. I will be the away team. The first team is home. So on a PC. You'll see the home icon over there.
So always not see just versus. Sometimes it say at.
Yeah.
So at means you are the away team and the other people who is after the at is the home team.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to have your players bring both jerseys because someone shows up. Just bring both jerseys.
Yeah, until you figure it
Thanks,
out.
Gabe. That is a good strategy. Thank you. Also, if you get your schedule and you really can't figure it out, just email me and I can tell you who's home and away. But it's pretty self-explanatory.
So my suggestion,
Luis.
Yeah, I got a quick question.
If you guys can make the app little bit like request that they put the home icon on the home team, that will be great.
I will let the company know. That is not actually us, but I'll forward your feedback on to them.
Right.
think Luis has a question.
I think they could do that. If they are changing the at and versus, they could do that easily.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they probably could. We're gonna move on though. Luis, do you have a question?
I do. Real quick question. How do we know our team's name?
So your team, for all intents and purposes, will be GR1 South Riding be your last name. If you want your whatever, that was an example, whatever is listed on your account. If you want your team to come up with a team name that's more fun, they are more than welcome to do that. I encourage it. It makes the players feel like they're a part of something, but we can't change your name in the system. But it's fun to have a name. So feel free to do that, but it'll stay in the system as what it's listed as.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
One more question I have. Challenge team not showing in the app, not able to import. What is the reason?
Challenge teams?
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsure. That would be a Karen question, and you can email her after you get off. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Jay, do you have a question?
Yeah, two questions. One is for the welcome email. I haven't sent that yet, but going into the online portal, there's I guess a tab that says message. Is that the best way to send a welcome email, or can I somehow get the email addresses for the individuals to send out through Gmail or something?
So two things you could do. I think through the portal, if you click message, that will send to all your families through the portal. I think that's probably the easiest way to do it. You can also
copy. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I think you can also export their contacts. If you want to email them through your personal email, you can do that too. I usually just email through the portal, but it's really up to you, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so I could just paste the entire template email in that message through the app and just send it, and it'll go to whatever the registered email address is for the.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. The portal is the best way to do it. There's not a lot of space to type stuff, so it would be best to type up your welcome letter, use a template, or do it in Word, and then just copy that entire thing and then paste it into that little window for the message within the portal. And then up top, it will say, who do you want to select? And you just have the checkbox to select everybody on the team and then send it that way.
Yeah, okay, got it. And then the second question is the training course. I saw that there was, I didn't see where the link to actually get into the required training course for coaches.
Are you talking about Safe Sport? The Safe Sport training that we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, Safe Sport's really confusing. I do not think there's a link. I think you go to Safe Sport and click the training that you want to do. Sometimes they'll ask you for a code. If it asks you for a code, email me and I will ask Darren for the code. But it is very confusing, and us here don't actually know it that well. But try that and then email me if you have problems.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Jesse, do you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question about finding the field at Simpson. Are they marked?
They are, I think in the past there was field numbers on the ground. You can also access all the field maps once the season starts on our website. I would encourage you to pull up the field map for your location and bring that with you or look at it before you leave. That's probably going to be the most reliable way to figure that out.
I pulled up the field map. It's looking like I'm Simpson 9, but I only see 4 fields.
Yeah, they're not updated yet for this upcoming season. Sometimes the field numbers change. It should, before your practice starts, it should be up to date.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Beck, do you have a question?
Yeah, just following up on that template email thing. Is there actually a template somewhere that we can access? Is this, I'm assuming that's for the welcome email?
Yeah, so you can find, I'm pretty sure Dara sent out an email with it. I think you can also find it on the website with all the resources and materials on there. If you can't find it there, shoot me an email and I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Jay, did you have another question or did you not take your hand down? All right, I think he does not have a question. Okay, we're gonna wrap up here shortly. Mohan, I'll take your question, and then after that, if you have a question, you can email me and I'll get back to you. We'll take one more question.
That's a good question. Who is responsible for order uniform? Is it parents or coaches?
Sorry, can you say that one more time? I did not hear it in my earphone.
Who is responsible for ordering uniforms? Is it parents?
Everyone orders their own uniform. The coach is not going to order everyone's uniform for them. When you register in the email you get, it prompts you to order your uniform. I think this year, if you registered before a certain date, the order registration wasn't up yet, so a separate email went out to everyone. But every player should have ordered their own uniform.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to wrap it up there because it's getting close to 8:30. Again, if you have a question, email me. I'll get back to you. But other than that, have a great season. No, I'm here. If you need anything, just let me know. Have a good night, guys.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Yes, thank you.